when you got out of the high school powerlifting and then came back in to the powerlifting, how long did it take you until you realized that you had more potential than you thought?
Well,
realistically, I mean, everybody's got an ego in the sport, right? But there's a certain point where you're like, you know what, I think I can do something here.
Man, I remember looking at, well, the first thing I looked at obviously was like maybe some smaller records, like some federation records for the deadlift. And I was like, hey, you know, I'm getting pretty close to that one. Maybe I'll go try to do that one first. And then I got there pretty quick. And then I started looking at some all-time world records. And I was like, you know, in the next couple of years, I don't see why I couldn't have 198, 220, and maybe 242. And everybody just thought I was fucking crazy. Like, because I remember telling people about this, and they just looked at me like, okay, sure. But you know, it kept climbing and climbing, and I was like, I'm getting pretty good at this deadlift thing. I'm trying to think how long that took me. Maybe like.
At some point, you realized this. That you at some point you went from thinking maybe I might be able to do this to this shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, is where that tipping point was. Or if it was somebody that said something to you or something that triggered it.
No, I kind of just triggered it in myself. Like, I saw those numbers and I was like, I think I can do that within the next year. And I might have been back into competing for a year and a half, maybe. So actually in 2016, so it was about 3 years ago from like right now, I did USPA Nationals as a junior in Las Vegas, and I pulled like 804. So that was like 3 years ago from right now. I was lifting 804 in competition, and that's when I was like, I think I could get to like, you know, 881 or 900 within like the next year or the next year and a half. Like in a competition from like a year from now or a year and a half from now, I think I can get there. So,
hey, I may have missed this. I was going to chime in quick. But where were you? Where did you stand when you started in high school? Were you at the top of those guys?
No. Okay. So, well, and maybe it's going to throw it off a little bit because I was a very, very late bloomer. I mean, shoot, I didn't hit puberty until I was probably like 17. So my first meet, being a 15-year-old kid, I bombed out on the squat. My first meet, you know, I with like 205 pounds, maybe 215 pounds. I bombed out, you know, missed it 3 times in a row, and really just had no idea what I was doing. I had zero guidance at this point. And I remember after that meet, I was so embarrassed. I've always kind of not been great.
Did they let you bench?
No, they didn't even let us bench either. So they were just
that's how it used to be, though.
They're like, no, go sit down. You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
I remember I'm starting to get warmed up for. I was putting on my little shirt for bench, whatever we had, some polyester crap. And then my coach was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm just getting ready to go for bench, coach." And he's like, "No, you're not." He's like, "You bombed out." I was like, "What does that mean?" He said, "You're out of the meet. You missed all 3 of your squats." And I was like, "Well, shit." So, and
yeah.
I was so embarrassed, and like I heard people talking about me, like the other kids on the team, and like I was ready to quit, you know. And then I was like, well, I'll go do another meet. And then I think like the next meet, like I totaled 670 pounds, but you know, I was like 115 pounds, I guess, and that was good enough to get me to like the regional meet or something that year, which it wasn't really saying much. I mean, it was like a 670 total at like in the 123 class, I believe. So I mean, I wasn't great. I mean, I was definitely very far behind like a lot of other kids. I didn't actually start becoming pretty competitive until I might have been competitive my junior year, but I was hurt, so I didn't do anything that whole year. I was just kind of just being like a shithead that year.
I figured you were pulling 700 at age 10.
No,
everybody thinks so.
Yeah,
I didn't pull 500 until I was 18, my senior year. So that was my first 500-pound pull, my first meet, my senior year, and that was the first year that I was actually like decently competitive in powerlifting. So I made it to like the state meet that year and stuff. So I guess in Texas, that's pretty. It's like you're doing okay if you make it to the state meet, like and you're like placing well at that.
In Texas?
In Texas,
yes, hell yes.
So that was the first time I actually felt like I was being pretty competitive. I blew everybody away at regionals. If I only got my deadlift opener, I had no idea what I was doing as far as like how to feed myself at the meet, and this meet ended up being like 3 times longer than all the local meets that we were having in basketball gyms or whatever. And I was like a deadlift away from winning state. It was either like I'm stuck with my opener and I'm in 5th place, or I pull like 595 and I win. So I tried the 595 because I got red lighted on the 585 I did before that, and then missed 595. So I'm stuck with a 525 opener. So I got like 5th at the state meet and my senior year, and that was the best I ever did in high school. I don't even have that medal. Like I just threw it in my closet. You know, I was just like, I don't even know where it is now. I was so disappointed with it, and I just didn't ever want to see it again. I was like, I'm done with, you know, this. I guess not powerlifting, but I was like, I'm moving forward from this. You know, I'm never gonna be that weak again or something like that. I still think about that meet to this day. Every time I do a meet now, missing that last deadlift, you know, because at the time that kind of meant everything to me. You know, if I were to have won that state meet, that would have meant everything to me. I had dreamed of it since I was just like a young kid. And I remember being a freshman and seeing all the numbers on the THSPO website. I looked at that website religiously, looking at all the numbers, admiring all the numbers. And here I was there, and I could have taken it, and I didn't. You know, I was so close to like winning the state meet, and to me that would have been the biggest deal in the world. And I let it just slip away because I didn't know what I was doing that day. You know, I was cramping up, I was dehydrated, I had no idea what I was doing, and it haunts me to this day. So that's something that drives me like every day I train. Just, you know, it's like I can't let that ever happen again. I'm not gonna let that ever happen again in a meet.
Wait. All right, guys, if you've been, I hate this stupid shit. All right, guys, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, select notifications, but also keep in mind, we do have a website. It's elitefts.com. On our website, we put up 2 new articles every single day, 7 days a week. We also have training blogs that are updated daily, coaching blogs, which are updated daily, archived history of over 1 million Q&As that are on the website. So check out our website. Also check out our Instagram, which is at elitefts, and my personal Instagram, which is at @underthebar, as we're always putting new content there as well. So check them all out because we have different content on all different channels.